In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the most rare and bizarre medical conditions ever, and in some cases, nobody's able to explain. So without further ado, let's dive in. Jerusalem Syndrome. This one needs a little bit of background. Jerusalem is undoubtedly one of the holiest cities in the world. It is considered sacred in at least 3 of the major religions, and of course, there are a lot of prophecies and beliefs that surround the city. One of the biggest prophecies is that the Messiah or a reincarnation would appear and return to the city. Many religions, including Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, hold this belief. It is exactly this worldview that has caused many believers to suffer from a condition called Jerusalem Syndrome. It's basically when people who travel to Jerusalem start to deeply feel as though they're the Messiah everyone has been waiting for. They may even start to have obsessive perceptions of themselves and enter psychosis. What's even crazier is that most people that suffer from the condition have no prior history of illnesses or conditions. On average, around 100 people suffer from Jerusalem Syndrome every year, 40 of which are hospitalized. The symptoms can happen before, during, and after a trip to Jerusalem and is usually influenced by an intense religious significance that the person feels regarding the city. The next one, mass hysteria. It's often used as a general term, but people tend to forget that it's also a medical condition that you can suffer from. The true term is mass psychogenic illness, and it's basically when any kind of disease, especially mental diseases, spread throughout a large group of people with no physical infection or connection. The symptoms may also manifest physically in the individual. A strange example of this is dancing mania, which was often cited as a case of mass hysteria that occurred in Europe during the Middle Ages. This was when groups of people would spontaneously start to dance while saying they couldn't stop. Eventually, other people would join them too. They would dance for such a long period of time that they would either collapse from exhaustion or have some sort of injury which would render them incapacitated. Dancing mania was treated as a real disease in time, and doctors would try to find some sort of solution for it. Another example, in 1998, there were rumors of ninjas assassinating innocent civilians in East Java, Indonesia. This led to widespread panic and mass social anxiety, eventually leading to the deaths of over 300 people who were suspected of being ninjas. From one house to the next, a true witch hunt. The risk of mass psychogenic illness is much higher in environments with a lot of stress, congenital insensitivity to pain, or CIP for short. Whether it's a small cut or literally your arm getting chopped off, people with this condition won't feel any pain at all. Only a few hundred people around the world are confirmed to have CIP right now, although there may be other cases that are undiagnosed. Although it sounds cool as if you have a superpower, CIP is considered one of the deadliest medical conditions around. Although patients can feel sensations to touch, things that are a little bit more extreme, they can't feel at all. People that have this tend to bite their tongues without noticing, burn themselves with no sensation, break bones without realizing it, have dozens of foreign objects stuck in their eyes, and more without feeling any pain. The risk of death is extremely high because people suffering from this don't have the same reflexes to prevent injury that people without it do. Vampire syndrome. Vampires are some of the most popular mythological beings that we often hear in folklore and TV shows. At this point, almost everyone is familiar with some of the most popular vampire weaknesses, such as aversion to sunlight, garlic, and mirrors. But did you know there's actually people in the real world that experience some of these symptoms? Vampire syndrome, or solar urticaria, is a condition wherein people are literally allergic to the sun. Any exposure to sunlight or UV rays can cause some of them to form hives, wheals, or burn their skin. In some of the more extreme cases, literally any form of physical light will affect them. Only around 100 cases have occurred in the last century that we know about anyway. Very little is known about the disease, how it's caused, and if it's genetic or not. Currently, there are only a few ways that it can partially be treated, but there are no true cures for the condition. If we talked about vampire syndrome, it's only fair that we cover werewolf syndrome as well, medically known as hypertrichosis. It's an extremely rare skin condition that causes excessive hair to grow on almost every part of the person's body for general cases. There's also another version of this disease, which leads to excessive hair growth in a localized area in places that it usually wouldn't grow. Doctors have known about this condition for hundreds of years, and in the 19th and 20th century, it was common for people with this condition to appear as circus freaks in various shows across North America and Europe. There was also very little focus on understanding what the condition was about, let alone trying to cure it. Both men and women can suffer from the condition. Guys, if you want me to make more videos like this in the future, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace!